waiting for it to go live, and here I am today. I Are you making that switch? There's podcasts, and then there's regular, like, linear legacy TV. Some it's called legacy. Some say linear. Some say that thing over there connected to an antenna or a cable package, cable subscription. Which one do you listen to? And I'm here to discuss why there is a big move. When me in general, my first one, I'm going to go over my first podcast that I started to listen to. Of course, there's a Joe Rogan podcast that started, I think, back in like 2009. I think even earlier than that. They were just in their garage doing like a stream on Ustream.com. And that's how Joe Rogan started doing what's now the Joe Rogan Experience. And I'm gonna touch over that. I'm gonna discuss why Gen Z embraces podcasts over the other stuff, and a lot of the reason it's mainly just obvious. But shout out to a couple of podcasts that I like to listen to, and there was one that I wish they seem to have stopped over the last few months, maybe half a year ago in October, November. One I wish was still going on, and I'm gonna go over all my top ones that I like to listen to for some good content. Talk about again, but I'm gonna let's go over, like, here you see here right now. Growing up with Devin, if you familiar, I'm a big Nickelodeon kid. If you didn't know anything about me, Nickelodeon kid, and I watch shows like I drew a blank just now. Um, I'm drawing a blank. The school, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, Devin Werkheiser. All grown up now. He has a podcast from On Onami podcast. He has a podcast called Growing Up with Devin. And this is it right here. See if I can. And he talks with friends, people he's worked with on sets, and people. And he actually says a lot of good things. Like, he's really, I listen to it. I'm like, I every time I listen, he's like speaking like my language, whatever he says, and it's just really good and refreshing to hear someone else really talk like the stuff that I've been hearing the last few years myself. Growing up with Devin, that's one that I listen to, and over here he is over here on Twitter. Is your, like, one of the discussions they talk about here? Go listen to it if you can. Is your ego toxic, or what's is it useful or toxic? Like, that's one discussion. My good friend, gotta make shout out to My Stuttering Life, My Stuttering at My Stuttering on Twitter. His podcast, that's him right here, talks with PWS, People Who Stutter, acronym for People Who Stutter, PWS. Shout out to My Stuttering Life over there. And then there's his Twitter as well. Sharing stories of adversity of triumph so that people who stutter, know that they are not alone. Podcaster, podcast speaker, and voice actor. So he's doing a lot of things. Next up, yeah, I don't want to get too much in the mind, messing with the mind, but here he is, the neuro marketing guru, neuro. Where is it? Gotta find it. It's somewhere. See all. It's somewhere down here. Oh, I got it somewhere. Neurohive podcast. This is Alex Van her. Shout out to him and the Neurohive podcast. Great bits of information for 20-minute pieces of content. Another thing I like to listen to. Let's go back to his Twitter. Ever wondered why catchy jingles stick in your mind? This is like some things he talks about. It's neuromarketing at play. Jingles use melody, rhythm, and repetition to create lasting neural imprints, influencing brand recall, consumer choice, harness the power of sound and marketing. And then this is okay. I want to touch on that, but next, again, I mentioned my first podcast 3 years. He actually, I'll talk about this mainly at the end too. But let's go back to Lewis Howes and the School of Greatness. It's why I got into all this essentially. Inspired by I was in a group one day. If you're listening and you're remembering me from those groups, hey, I was in the group with you. I was inspired to start doing this with his spaces, his groups. He is the podcast School of Greatness, and he talks with everyone who's doing anything great. His friend Jay Shetty, Tim Ferriss. Protect your inner peace at all costs. All about doing what's best for you and how to be you. How to stay motivated and overcome obstacles in both your personal and professional life. Find out from Allison Felix. Talking with a bunch of people, different types of people from all over. Working, he just overall inspirational, just being inspirational. So there's a few podcasts that I listen to, and we're gonna get into this too. He has this book, and I have it right here as well. There it is. The Greatness Mindset. Unlock the power of your mind and live your best life today. He just launched that this last 6 months or so. And another thing, like this live stuff too. This is what I was watching as I just before I started this stream. I was listening to this. The NBA draft is going on right now. I was listening, and I heard about my team, the Houston Rockets, what they're talking about with them. And before it would have been just like ESPN, the leader in the sports, but cable stuff and those cable TV channels are dwindling away, and the internet is winning. Podcasts are over the internet. So this is a live podcast. This is on YouTube, as you see. You can't hear it, but you see it going on and everything. Go listen to the Volume, Colin Cowherd's podcast network, I guess. I've been watching a little bit, but back to podcasts, and don't mind putting his window up here. But why do people, and Gen Z specifically, why are podcasts being embraced more and more? There's millions of content out there, and Gen Z gets it. Gen Z's on it, but the older generation who has been sticking with TV, antenna, cable. I don't watch. I haven't watched really cable. I watch the internet. Podcasts is over the internet. One thing, the first one thing, and I have three here for you today. It's because of the availability of their schedule versus and putting it all together with the availability of the content depending on when it gets released. TV is schedule. You stick to a TV schedule. Now, it can be on demand on there too, but clunky devices, clunky cable boxes, also not working right. The internet just seems to win over all of these things. Internet subscriptions here and there, everywhere. Internet. Internet is winning. On demand, flexible, learning, explore, podcasts, and the freedom to consume content on their own terms. And because Gen Z, we're the younger crowd, the Gen Z, they're getting into the work system these days. So, and I'm at the 9 minute mark here. I'm trying to keep it light for Instagram here. Upload it there. Next, number two, authentic voices and diverse perspectives. Like I said, millions of content out there. I'm one of them. I'm one of them out of millions. So, choices, a lot of choices. You can't possibly choose them all and listen to them all in one day, too. But there is something to listen to always. You just find something. If you can't find it, then, then you just can't choose. Highlight the appeal of podcasts in providing a platform for underrepresented, underrated people, diverse perspectives. Storytelling, ability to access wide range of topics and viewpoints. So number three, why Gen Z embraces podcasts. Number three, connection, community. It goes back to that underrated thing back in point two, and they feel more connected because it's not this big time TV celebrity that's only on the screen. They can actually connect with them on Twitter. They can connect with them on social media. Not just Twitter, any social media. They can really, that main Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, but like social media is out there and they can connect after they watch and say, I thought of this when I was listening to you say this. So connection, foster sense of community among the Gen Z listeners. And exploring engagement and interactivity through podcast communities, again, with groups or conversations on the internet, over the internet, live events, creating opportunities for connection and shared experiences. And that's what they're looking for. That's what it's all about. Like, it's the internet. This is why the internet seems to be winning over cable TV, linear legacy TV. If you have any thoughts, comments, please comment below. I want to, before I end, I'd want to make mention one more thing of the Summit of Greatness. He has this event coming up in September 7th through the 9th. Let's just go to that website real quick. We're at the 12-minute mark. 7 to 9 at the Ohio Theater in Columbus, Ohio. 76 days away. I got my ticket. I have a free ticket if anyone wants it. I'll send you the link if you want that free ticket. It's the value's there. I'm giving value right now. Comment me, mention me, DM me, Instagram at the Real Sweet Tea, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can always ask me anything. Ask Tommy Tech. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Ask Tommy Tech, and let's meet up at Summit of Greatness. And with that, I will end it here. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned. I go over in the next one how to use AI to learn a language, how to communicate in a different language if you don't know it, with different dialects from different countries, different parts of the country. How to do that. That's coming up in the next video. You don't want to miss that. But thank you for watching. I'll see you around. Until then.